Well, hey, welcome everybody. This is the Green Valley Camera Club's multimedia special interest group on January 24th. And we have a special event today in that we're going hybrid. We have Kevin May. He is the Zoom, not Zoom, but he's the hybrid master there in the club room, along with Doug, Royce, and Larry in case you can't figure out who they are there. And then you can see who everybody else is. So that's an exciting new addition for us to be able to some of the time do hybrid. There we have Larry, Mo, and Curly. Anyway, all righty. So, um, we have Royce, Brian, and Sarah who've said they have something to show. Is there anybody else today? Okay, well, Royce, let's go ahead and start. And do you need any help with that process?
Royce, why don't you tell them what it's about and then I'll share it.
Okay, well, Doug put something together last week. We went out and did a little shoot that he's gonna present at some point in the future. And I took some of my own video, and so I just put something together. I originally meant it as kind of a little trailer in his video, but then it morphed into something different. And so it's 30 seconds long. It moves fast. So it's about three guys.
All right.
Okay.
Well, give me a second. We'll give this a try.
One day you wake up and realize you're not sure who the good guys are anymore.
That was fun.
Looks like a real adventure out there.
Where was that?
Adventures, Doug.
Doug is the king of adventure.
Yeah, out along the railroad tracks, I take it.
Is that here in Green Valley?
Milo.
Was that here in Green Valley?
Yeah, just Tuesday.
Oh, okay. They just shot it Tuesday here in Green Valley.
Okay,
Mhm.
so that's a teaser for something coming up.
Yeah, Doug's got a big project in mind. He's got it coming.
Okay,
Is that one of the little tidbits?
It's very little tidbits. He did totally different video,
Uh,
different storyline, everything.
okay. All right. Well,
Thank you.
I've got Sarah and Brian down. So which one of you would like to go first here?
I will. I don't care.
Okay.
Carl and I recently spent a weekend in Silver City, New Mexico. It was a 3.5-hour drive from Green Valley. Some of the earliest recorded people who lived in the Silver City area were the Mimbres Indians from 200 to 1100 AD. Their beautiful pottery has been unearthed over the years. While some of this pottery is housed at the Smithsonian, a goodly amount of it is on display in the museum at Western New Mexico University in Silver City. Apache Indians occupied this area from the early 1600s until the late 1800s. With the discovery of copper, gold, and silver in the 1860s, prospectors arrived in the area, and many bloody battles were fought over the rights to the land. At about that same time, outlaws like Billy the Kid and Butch Cassidy and his wild bunch frequented the Silver City saloons. These murderers and thieves were brought to justice by gunslinging lawmen like Sheriff Pat Garrett and Town Marshal Dangerous Dan Tucker. It was the Wild, Wild West. In 1895, a horrendous rainstorm hit Silver City. The flood of water eroded Main Street down 55 feet to the bedrock. Main Street businesses converted their back doors on Bullard Street to front doors. Ever since then, Bullard Street has been Silver City's Main Street. To prevent flooding in business establishments, the town has created extra high curbs and sidewalks throughout most of the downtown. In more recent years, they have made the old Main Street into a city park. Silver City is still an active mining town. The Santa Rita Copper Mine is one of the oldest mines in the country. With a population of about 9,000, Silver City boasts a brewery, 2 museums, several restaurants and bakeries, trendy shops, and art galleries. Bullard Street is the place to go if you like to shop, eat out, and appreciate architecture. Murals and other public art are a real attraction. 'Silver City has some nicely renovated hotels. We stayed at the Murray Hotel, built in 1938. It reflects the Art Deco style. Six miles east of Silver City is Fort Bayard, which was built in 1866. At first, this U.S. Army installation provided security against Native American attacks. This line of defense was provided mainly by the Buffalo Soldiers. Later, it became the Army's first tuberculosis sanitarium, and after that, it was a VA hospital. Some of the vacant homes of enlisted men and officers' quarters still remain. A national cemetery was also established at Fort Bayard. All of the 6,000 graves were decorated for Christmas at the time of our visit. A friend recommended the prime rib at the Buckhorn Saloon in Pinos Altos, 8 miles north of Silver City. At 7,000 feet elevation, this 1860s mining town straddles the Continental Divide. Our dinners did not disappoint. One last stop before going home was City of Rock State Park, 30 miles south of Silver City, about 5 miles off of Route 180. At the Visitor Center, a 10-minute video explains how these rock pillars were sculpted over time by wind and water. The park offers camping, hiking, birding, mountain biking, picnicking, and a botanical garden. We'll always have good memories of our New Mexico weekend.
That was great. You should sell that to the tourism department there, or the Chamber of Commerce.
I'll
Really.
try to do
That
that.
was very well put together.
It
Thank
was.
you.
It was wonderful.
Photography was really good and interesting and very well done.
You need to
Thanks.
send that one to Travelog.
I might see if, what's his name, McCreary might be interested in it.
I guarantee he'll be interested in that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
You ready for the nitpicking?
Yeah, I tell you, my goal in doing that one was to implement some of the suggestions that were made the last time I did a video. And one of those suggestions was to, I think it was Kevin that suggested I institute a variety of like zoom in, zoom out, go right, go left, up or down. So I've tried to, put the variety into this show with respect to that, because most of this obviously was stills, except for the river video.
Okay, the nitpick is I would pull back from that a little bit. It looked like every single one had a pan, zoom,
It did.
something.
It's a little bit
Personally,
dizzying.
it's a bit much for our taste,
Okay,
but it's your video. The other thing is at 3:30, you have a needle drop. You ran out of music, there was a little gap there, and then you started again. You can butt those together and do a transition fade, and nobody would ever notice that
Okay.
that happened.
okay,
But it was a wonderful selection of music, was perfect for the mood you're setting there. That was a really nice video overall.
Yeah.
thank you.
And your
Well,
audio level and music was good that time too.
I wanted it to just be background noise, kind of to set a tone rather than anything of interest in the music itself.
Yeah,
So just a mood more than.
So I had a comment or question, because some of the times in the transitions, at least on my screen, it was pixelizing and everything. Is that how you designed it, or is that just how it's coming over on the internet or my computer?
Huh,
that's
Did anyone
bad.
else see that?
didn't intend that.
Were you using a dissolve?
I used cross dissolve on, for the whole show.
Todd,
2
I'm
sec-
sure that's
2
almost
seconds.
certainly bandwidth.
What's that?
It's bandwidth, it's not yours.
Okay. So it's something to do with Zoom?
Yeah,
Just on Todd's, it looked pretty good to me. I think it just Todd's bandwidth he was having a problem.
Mhm.
Anybody else see the pixelation? Because I didn't see much of it.
No,
No. Okay,
no. On to back up on Brian's suggestion about the pans and zooms. If you go back and watch some of Kevin's, he doesn't zoom in very far.
or,
They're slow and they're just a little ways. And
Yeah.
you had yours, from wide to big,
yeah,
and so smaller amounts of zooms and pans. I think would be more comfortable. Yeah.
I agree. Less dizzying. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay,
I had a couple quick goodies that I could throw in too, if I could, please.
Okay.
Sarah, I thought you did a great job with that. I would agree with Brian and Susan. Love the music. I thought that was really nice, really gave it a nice mood. Your audio balance was great when you were talking and the music. The one thing I would love to see you do is you have some periods where you're not talking and the music, you could raise that music up just a little bit so that it comes across a little bit, because at least for us here in the club, your voice was great. The music underneath was great as you were talking, but then it seemed like you just left the level of the music the same level all the way through.
I did. Yeah.
Okay, so maybe that's something to think about for next time.
Yeah.
The other goodie too, when we talk about, I would agree with what Grace was saying. If you want to go in tighter on a Zoom, or you want to zoom in tighter, extend the clip and make it longer. So instead of it being 4 seconds, make it 8 seconds, and then that will slow that motion down.
Okay.
And then one last thing, the other thing we were talking about here was you did a nice job of moving stuff around and doing some different movement, which was great. The one thing that you did do a couple of times, you'd have 3-4 pictures where you were zooming in each time.
Yeah.
And so at some point, if you can mix that up so that it's not, whatever the move is, just make it a different move on the next slide. It'll make it flow a little bit better.
Yeah.
And again, like Brian said, this is just nitpicky because I thought it's great. And that is a beautiful thing for Travelog. So good job.
Yeah.
Okay. I appreciate, I want your input. So I'm going to go back and put those tweaks in. I'd like to make it a little bit better.
It's not going to take much.
Oh,
No, really, that was very enjoyable. And that was only, 3.5 hour drive from Green Valley?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'd never been over there. So it was a new place for us. Just a couple days, easy enough to go over there. So there's of course Gila National Forest and the cliff dwelling stuff, but a lot of that requires hiking, which we don't do much of anymore. So we didn't include it, or we didn't go there to do that. But that's something that most people probably would. It's well known for the area.
Sarah, kudos to you for just doing the narration. That was great. Thank you for doing that. A lot of the members are afraid of it or whatever. You're not, so thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
And so acquiring the information, where did you get all of your information for the narration?
Well, some was from like pamphlets that we picked up while we were there. Most of it, though, was just internet information, TripAdvisor kind of things, Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wikipedia.
Yeah.
I like that one. I think it's pretty reliable for the most part.
Sometimes it depends.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a good starting place. So yeah, because you had a lot of good information there, I thought also makes me want to go there.
Thanks for your input, everybody.
Okay, then. Well, Brian, you're up.
okay. I'm going to show you a work in progress. So start with share screen. All right. Now you see the website, right?
Right.
Okay. Let's back up. On the front page is the new on our website section, which we talked about last time. Educational resources. Down under Zoom, you will find how to play your Zoom and your video in Zoom. So let's watch this. Hello, and welcome to another GVR Camera Club instructional video brought to you by the Multimedia Special Interest Group.
Today we're going to look at how to share your video during a Zoom meeting by using the share screen function on a Windows PC. Apple, Mac will be covered in a different video. As you will see, this is all very easily done. We're going to cover two different kinds of video player. First, we'll demonstrate using the Windows Media Player that is included with Windows. We'll also take a look at the VLC Media Player, a versatile open source application that is available at no cost. Okay, we're ready to share our video. Before the meeting even starts, set your video up so that it's ready to play. To do this, open your video player, in this case, Windows Media Player. Select the video that you're going to show, start it, and then immediately pause it. Minimize it. Now it's down on the taskbar and it's ready to show anytime. When the meeting is now started and it's your turn to show a video, before you click that share screen, turn off your mic. That way, you don't have a hot mic while the video is playing, and people won't be hearing your comments one way or the other while your video is playing. Now you're ready to share screen. Click that share screen button, and here are your options. Real briefly, we use two monitors, so you see two monitors that we could choose from. You're currently watching screen number 2, but that's not what you want. You left a window down on the taskbar with your video on it. That's Windows Media Player. Select that one, then click Share. Before you play it, consider this. See what's outlined in green here? That's what people will see when you play your video. Well, when you designed your video, did you design it with a white bar across the top and minimize and maximize and close buttons on it? No, you didn't. Go to this one right down here. It's View Full Screen. Click that. Now, this is how you designed your video to be seen. Now you can start by clicking the play button. The instant you click the play button, take your mouse indicator, your pointer, off the right side of the screen, and all of this stuff here will fade away as your video starts, like this. Okay. We'll fast forward to the rest of this. Then we'll click the minimize and we will stop share. We're back to this screen. It doesn't matter what this one does while everybody's talking, you can make it go away forever. That is the Windows Media Player version. Now, personally, we prefer to use VLC Media Player. It's done very much the same way. Open it ahead of time. Load your file. And immediately pause it. Minimize it. And when it's time to show your video, and once again, remember to mute yourself. Click Share Screen. And there's the VLC Media Player window with your file loaded, all ready to go. Share it. And VLC's maximize or full screen thing is this one right here. Click that. And the difference between this and Windows Media Player is you can take your mouse off the side of the screen, and then to start the video, you just hit the space bar. To pause the video, you hit the space bar. So So we will take it all the way to the end, hit the space bar, it finishes playing, and shuts down. So minimize it, stop share, unmute yourself, and now you can have your discussion with everybody about the video you just showed. Shown on the screen now is the web address where you can find VLC Media Player. VLC Media Player is a pretty cool application. It's got a lot of functions other than just playing videos. I encourage you to download it and play around with it, see what all it has to offer. With that, we're done with how to play a video using the share screen function in a Zoom meeting. Took longer to tell than it takes to do, doesn't it? So with that, you have a good one, and we'll see you in the next one.
Couple of questions. One, do we need this video? Two, we could throw it open to see how many mistakes you could find in the production there, because there's a number of them that we've got written down. But is this kind of presentation something that you think would be useful for multimedia to be doing?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Especially since PCs look to be much more complicated than Macs. The part I found that was missing was the click the two buttons for optimize audio and video. He never did click the two buttons.
I have a question, Brian, on when you mute or playing your video. Is that true for whether they're Mac users or PCs, that we are to be muting our computer?
I have no idea how Macs work, but I would guess that yes, it's the same. What it does is it turns off the hot mic that you use to talk to people, but the audio portion of your presentation will go through. When we first started Zooming and whatnot, there were a couple of times that we showed a video and we didn't mute that mic, and we sat there and critiqued our video. Look at that, that's terrible. We were critiquing our video while I played, and Gene was cracking up the whole time, and he finally told us why. So that's why we added that.
Not a bad idea.
Barb, I would say you don't have to mute the mic if you're the only person in the room, and short of eating Cracker Jacks or slurping on a drink, you'd probably be okay.
Which we have heard people doing.
Cereal.
Yeah, cereal.
And putting your phone on mute.
Good point.
Do what?
Putting your phone on mute.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Phone on mute.
Yeah. Yeah, we got to shrink it down because a couple of things took place off the top of the screen. What do you think? Keep the two together, Windows Media Player and VLC, or do two shorter videos that each focus on?
Two shorter is what my vote would be.
Okay.
Our vote here is
Brian, you followed into this thing just like all the presenters on the internet. It's just too much blah, blah, blah. Get to it. Get into it. Don't say, my name is, Bill George, and I know you didn't, but you don't get to the heart of the matter. Whether or not you want to incorporate VLC along with the Windows, that's your choice. But just get to the material. I'm with the Camera Club and blah, blah, blah. Forget all that stuff. Just get to the message, and people will watch it and they'll learn from it.
Okay.
That's my advice.
What else?
But you look great on camera.
Okay, what were the two video formats for the PC?
Windows Media Player, which comes with, it's an accessory provided with Windows. And the other one is VLC Media Player, and they have a Windows version and they have a Mac version. Both are available at that web address that's on the screen.
Okay, VLC.
I'm
I
not
think also has
conscious.
Mac. Go ahead,
Go
Sarah.
ahead. I'm not conscious that I'm using any of those. Could that be?
Yes.
So do I need them?
I don't know which one you're using. You know, it could be, I'm pretty sure it's not VLC Media Player. It could be Windows Media Player, but there's another video and TV player, movie player in Windows that we didn't address.
Concept's usually the same.
But yeah, the concepts are usually the same.
Can you guys do you have to open a player in order to, or can you just, like we do, double click on your video and it starts?
Yeah, I never open a player. I just have it on my desktop and click play.
Yeah.
Me too.
Don't you designate a default though?
Yeah, you've got a default designated, and when you double click your file, it's opening it. What this particular process does is you're not going to see those little gray blocks scattered here and there around the screen because you've taken over the screen with the application.
Were there any gray blocks on my video today?
No.
No.
Oh, yeah? I don't think so.
Yeah. Because I'm sure you've got it set for full screen. But that's just the way that we do it. If everybody did it that way, you would never see the gray blocks. And it would be by conscious process instead of luck.
Right. Well, that looked like a lot of work, and Brian, and I really appreciate that you're trying to put some really informative stuff on the website too.
Which takes us to the next point. Kevin, we had a little conversation yesterday about standardizing lead-ins and whatnot. And Susan and I have had this conversation with various people who shall remain nameless over the years, and we either get, we get one of two or three different reactions. We get the blank look, we get the, oh, that's too hard, or what do I need that for? Yeah, so with the blank look predominating, so we just do it. And if you go back and look at video blocks that we have done over the years, like the 3-minute challenges, the instructional videos that are on the website, you'll see that there's some sort of a lead-in on every one of them because we don't, that's just the way we are. But Kevin, you were talking about standardizing it, maybe offering it to other SIGs. So you want to talk a little bit about what your thoughts are at this point?
Sure. Just quickly, also, when you were showing your video, we liked your video. We thought that you could keep it as one video. Maybe the thing you end up doing is, like on YouTube, they've got little notes and it says, if you want the Windows media, skip to 1 minute 38 seconds. If you want the VLC or whatever that other one was, skip to 2 minutes and 30 seconds. And maybe that's a thought too. So
yes, we do that. If you go look at the,
you didn't do it in this one.
Didn't do it in this one, but if you go look at the ones on the film festival, if you look at the notes down below the video in YouTube, you'll see the time things, and you can click to go straight to it.
But I agree, it needs to be added to this one.
We'll add it to this one.
Yeah, I love it. The other thing that we love too, we really love your little color boxes as you zoom in and show people where to click. I think that that's huge because it really does focus your eye on what's going on. So well done on that regard. I know that takes a lot of work too. So good job.
That's because some of us can never find the mouse on a screen.
Well, just quickly to chat about the Todd and I were having a conversation last week. You know, we have the off Monday here at the club. The gang gets together, and Phil even joins us. And I welcome anybody that wants to come on the off Mondays at 9 o'clock. Anyway, one of the things Todd and I were talking about last week were because when we upload these Zoom videos to YouTube, I'm usually editing it and taking out if there's anything bad that's going on, and just to clean it up and make it look a little bit more professional. So we talked about having an open and a close, kind of like what we just saw was done in Brian and Susan's video. So anyway, I said, well, geez, we should just do something where we're here at the club. If somebody wants to come out, even if you're not editing in Final Cut like I am, if you're in iMovie or you're in DaVinci or some other program, if you want to come out, we'll have like a little session. We could certainly put it up on Zoom and say, okay, here's our video. We're going to pick some music and let's build an open, and then let's build a close for our videos. And then from there, we could say, okay, to the fine art group, do you guys, we can make a generic one for the camera club. We can make one specifically for multimedia. And then we could also say for these other clubs within our thing, if you want to have one, it's just a matter of changing some text and away we go. So that was my thought. So I don't know if people would be up for that, but we'd be happy to do that.
That would look professional, I think, when you go to it on YouTube. We're not putting ads in the front of them, so that's good. I think it would look really nice.
Actually, I think somebody has monetized some of the YouTube postings of Camera Club videos, because we're seeing ads now, like in front of speaker series.
Really?
Yeah. And maybe the one of the instructional videos, an ad came up. But be that as it may, you wait 5 seconds and click skip, and then you're into it.
Well, anyway, oh, go ahead.
I said I have a suggestion for maybe a second video. There are groups within the club that show just pictures. I can think of a couple different SIGs what I had in particular. So just maybe a video on how to show a photo on Zoom.
Share screen. The process.
The process is the same.
Already there.
The process is the same, understood, but if you're trying to show a photo, that you might have a different tool. Photo
You're
viewer.
opening it in a different application than
That's
the video
correct.
player.
Correct.
Are you talking about showing a hard copy photo?
No, I'm talking about showing a digital photo.
Share screen.
Well, but you have to have the photo in an app to begin with, just like the video.
Well, no, we've got, Sarah just showed a video remotely. You can show a photo remotely. It's the same process, share screen.
But as you use the Windows Media Video and VLC to show a photo, you need to have a viewer set up.
You open it in Photoshop or whatever you're opening it in, correct?
Screen.
Well, Windows has a photo viewer, actually, a couple of.
Oh, okay.
Pat, I think you could go in and you could do just share the whole screen, share the entire screen, and then like Grace was just saying, you share it in whatever your browsing program is, be it Photoshop or whatever else, and you'd be able to share pictures all day long that way. To me, really, it comes down to, it isn't much more than, as Brian is saying, you're just sharing the screen, and at some point, somebody has to put that video together, and I have a feeling they have enough on their plate as it is.
It's not a video.
You're talking about a group that looks at, analyzes, and discusses somebody's photo.
Correct.
Yeah. So you only need one photo up, full screen, to view for discussion.
Correct.
Yeah.
Hit me with your best shot and the fine arts one, and perhaps even the black and white SIGs, all are looking at individual photos and talking about them.
Mhm. Yeah. Are they having problems doing that?
No, but we're all novices at sharing screens in Zoom.
I
And,
know
you
the
know,
black and white uses Dropbox. Um, And so it's the
Okay.
convener person that has control
that
over it.
shows them.
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't know about the fine arts one. The hit me with your best shot.
Fine Arts is the same.
Are they?
Yeah, Fine Arts also
So-
does the Dropbox.
So both Linda's Elements and the Bird Sigs, we send them in via, Linda send it in via Dropbox. The Bird Sig, he has a different setup. It's still through Dropbox. They're both different. I've asked them both why the club just doesn't have one way to do it, or they don't have one way to do it. But then whoever, Mike or Linda, they bring up the photos that are sent in and put them up on the screen.
Okay, well, it must be just hit me with your best shot SIG that has the individual person is doing the share screen, kind of like here in this SIG.
And they're having trouble.
Well, it's a situation where, kind of like when we first started doing Zoom in this SIG, you would explain to the folks, bring up the picture, make sure you hit the optimize on the audio and, that kind of stuff. It's a minor thing, but it might help in the future.
Okay. Well, anybody suggest, I guess somebody can contact them and see what they would like to have set up, I guess.
I'm the
Right.
moderator.
Okay, Pat, it's just a question of opening your photo in whatever application lets you see it, and then follow the same procedure that we just showed in that video.
I understand. And maybe it isn't worth it to have a separate video, and I'll certainly refer the folks to your video as an example of how to do it.
Okay, it's real easy.
I understand.
Yeah.
I'm not
Would
the
it
one that's
be a-
confused.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Would it be appropriate, Brian, to just mention for dummies like me that the Windows Media Player might be the default, whatever that's called, that would be used? I don't know. Is that the right term?
Windows does have default picture viewers. That's correct. I don't know if it's the Windows Media Viewer to do that or not.
I was going back to the videos, I guess,
Okay.
rather than the still pictures.
Okay.
We're looking now at the choices.
Which is to the right click I showed you.
Yeah, but there's another one. We'll look it up, but yeah, there's two or three, at least two video players in Windows plus VLC. They all basically work kind of the same way. We just like VLC because you don't have to watch the moderator drag his mouse around the screen hunting for the thing. Once you set it up, all you got to do is hit that space bar. You'll see a little arrow up in the corner of the screen. And when you pause it, you'll see the little two bar pause symbol. And that's it. Just space bar all the way through in between videos.
So does anybody else have anything for the good of the order before I stop the recording? Other than to say that our next meeting is going to be February 14th. That's the second Monday of the month. And it may be a hybrid also. So double check and see if there's something going on at the club. We'll send out Well, you get the invitations from Green Valley Camera Club, Eventbrite automatically. So there probably won't be a notice about whether it'll be hybrid or not.